Ford GT is the modern version of the GT40, which was Ford's race car in the 60s. And the car evolved from the battle between Ford and Ferrari. Ford wanted to buy Ferrari. At the last minute, Ferrari bailed out. It really got Ford mad. Voila, you got a race car to beat Ferrari just because of that. And it was the only time Ford or any real manufacturer went just unlimited a budget. Doesn't matter what it takes. We want the best race car, period. I don't care. And the body of the car, a lot of the design of the car in the 60s, the 427 car that went to Le Mans, the body has actually evolved from aerodynamic purposes. So the car is beautiful from an engineering standpoint and not necessarily a design standpoint. Back then, they had a 427. It was a lightweight car. It was very fast, very strong. It won Le Mans years in a row. Took 1, 2, and 3. It's a legend. It's the only car, the only American car to do that ever. It was the only American car to beat Ferrari at the time. So it's famous. It's a legend in automotive history. They use their modern engine, which is the 5.4 double overhead cam engine. The block in that car is not the standard 5.4 block. It's a dry sump block. It's Ford GT only. All aluminum, forged internals, the Lysome supercharger. It drives surprisingly easy. It's nothing like you would think. And I think they did a great job with it. Very good job of making it a car you could drive all over the place, anywhere you wanted. And yet it's one of the fastest production cars ever made. Today we're going to take one of Ford's supercars and we're going to change the air filters. We're going to change the blower pulley to get some more boost out of it. We're going to change the exhaust out with the Ford Racing exhaust system. And then after that, we're going to use some Diablo software to get it into the computer, and we're going to retune it and see how much power we can make.
So why would you want to add power to one of the fastest production cars ever made?
Well, I guess the answer is because you can, isn't it? I mean, is any car too fast? No, it's never too fast. Doesn't matter how much the manufacturer makes it. So why not, right? Why not make some more power?
The first step was to obtain a base horsepower number on the dyno.
We got 529.6 rear wheel horse, 489 pounds of torque to the tires. It's pretty strong. Not bad for stock.
Umberto wanted to kick up the boost with a larger crank pulley or a smaller supercharger pulley, neither of which were available at the time.
I'd rather do a crank pulley because you can enlarge a crank pulley and get more boost and get more belt wrap, more belt contact area, versus making a smaller supercharger pulley and trying to get more boost but losing belt contact area because the pulley's smaller. If it can be done, I'd rather do a crank pulley. Well, once we got the belly pans off, we realized that there's a number of castings on the timing cover that are right next to the outside perimeter of the crank pulley, which means, in other words, you're not making it any bigger. That's it. So we're going to have to make the blower pulley smaller. So we're going to go ahead and take the air filter box, everything off, and release the belt, take the blower head off, and then we'll be able to mic the pulley and then decide from there how much smaller we need to go. It's about a pound of boost for every 10th reduction in the size of pulley. Whatever happens, throw your body in front of it. The supercharger on the Ford GT is actually not that hard to remove. The only complex part, or not complex, but just kind of tedious, is getting the belt tensioner to release the belt tensioner because the engine's so close to the back of the engine bay. Other than that, unbolting the blower was easy. It's a series of bolts around the base of the supercharger. There's no special, like rubberized or anything seal. It uses a metal gasket to seal. So we pull the blower off, go away from the car with it. Stock supercharger pulley is 3.2 inches in diameter. And we're going to go ahead and make it as small as we can, which is 2.9. To pull the pulley off, we have a pulley puller tool for the 03 Cobra and the Lightning. Man, I hope my puller fits, man. Well, on the Ford GT, the snout is a little bit wider, so the tool didn't fit. Bastard! So we revised the tool and made it wider, and now it fits the GT also. And it fits right around the pulley there. This pulley fits in between the two plates. You tighten up the 4 bolts, and you push the pulley right off. And it worked like a champ without, as you can see, damaging this pulley in any way. All right, here's our new blower pulley. We were able to get it down from 3.2 to 2.9 inches in diameter without making this thickness too thin, in our opinion. Same 10 rib, same offset, same press fit, just 2.9 versus 3.2. So we will see how much boost gain we'll get from this. Then we put the pulley on and we press it on slowly till it's seated, and it was really a non-issue.
The next modification was to install high-flow air filters.
We took the part number off the filter that was in the car and called it in at Ford, and it ended up being a Ford Lightning filter, which means now you have air filters. You just buy a set of K&N filters for a Lightning, and they fit perfect in the Ford GT airbox. So that's what we did.
With the rear engine, there is no room for long exhaust pipes, so the Ford GT has a huge muffler mounted in the rear of the car. The GRC crew next removed it in favor of a better performing piece from Ford Racing.
Next thing we did is we went ahead and we put the Ford Racing muffler in it, muffler and exhaust, which is considerably lighter than the stock one. I think there's a 40 or 50 pound difference in the two units, which is great. Why not take 50 pounds off the back of the car, right? Hey, why not? So we went ahead and did that, which required us to take the bonnet off, take the lower valance off the car, take the tailpipes off. Wasn't easy. You had to take a lot of parts apart to get that the stock muffler out, because obviously you don't want to scratch it. You know, you want to take your time, get it out there carefully. And it's heavy as can be, you know, so it takes two guys to get it out there. So once we got the bonnet off, the lower valance off, everything loose and got the muffler out of there, we were able to slip in a new Ford Racing muffler, which fit right into place without any trouble, and had much, much nicer polished stainless steel tips on it versus the stock ones, which I believe are just black or just very thin and not very fancy, not very suiting to the car. So if for anything, the tips were worth it. You know, it makes the car look a lot better.